Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our global audience. I'm Richest, host of this brand new session in SDG 10. A quick introduction of mine. I'm pursuing my bachelor's from DTU and I love to work for social development. We are honored that you took some time out of your day and joined us for this session. We are all set to resume the extraordinary series regarding sustainable development goals, what they are, and how we can get involved in so much more. We hope you enjoy the session and make most out of it. So just sit back and enjoy this candid conversation with a brilliant speaker. Before going ahead, I want to tell you about our organization. Our organization is Heartfulness Organization. Heartfulness is a simple and subtle practice of meditation that connects each one of us with the light and love in our heart. Through a network of thousands of global heart spots and one magnificent smart app, we offer the world daily practice that awakens our potential for simple, joyful existence. A spacious gift of human transformation is offered free of charge. Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) were adopted by United Nations member states in 2015 as a universal call for action to transform our world by 2030. By taking efforts towards solving various global issues and promoting peace and prosperity among millions. Our aim is to draw attention and create awareness of the effort being taken around the globe to achieve these goals and recognize change makers like Mr. Devendra Kumar who are driving change in our communities. In the last session, we have discussed about SDG 9, which was industry, innovation, and infrastructure, which was a very interesting topic. In this week, I hope you have enough energy. We are joined by a captivating speaker yet to be discussing about the goal SDG 10, which is Reduced Inequality. If I talk about SDG 10, then Sustainable Development Goal 10 at reducing inequality within and among countries. This SDG called for reducing inequalities in income as well as those based on age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status within a country. The global addresses inequality among countries, including those related to representation, migration, development assistance. We have an esteemed speaker on the board today. He'll be sharing his insightful experience and guiding us as how we can achieve this goal collectively. Mr. Devendra Kumar is an internationally recognized social reformer, national award winner, public policy analyst whose innovation initiates at grassroots level have changed the lives of underprivileged people in slum of India. Mr. Devendra Kumar is the founder and CEO of Ladli Trust, Foundation Trust at grassroots level, non-profit organization in spatial consultative status with an economic and social council since 2020, and known for implementing highly impactful action research initiatives at sensitive locations by involving local police and district administration with its wide presence in 50 districts of 10 states across India. The organization is also working for GBV survivors in United States, though its international wing, Ladli Foundation USA, an NJ non-profit corporation. And now I would love to invite Mr. Devendra Kumar to present and share his remarkable journey with us. Mr. Devendra Kumar, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dikshita, for this wonderful introduction. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all for this wonderful initiative that you people do. It is time to discuss SDGs because, if we really would like to achieve UN SDGs, we need to discuss more and more and more. And within the community, because what I believe that till the time we will not discuss these issues at grassroots level, we cannot bring reformative changes. For what we are expecting that we have agenda to achieve all UN SDGs by 2030. But I always say that till the time we will not sensitize the community at grassroots level, even in terms of if we can see that we are talking about SDG 10, this is a big issue, very big issue. We can achieve all 16 goals, but this, I would say the 15 goals, because 17 goal always say just to cover all other goals, partnership with all other goals. But if we think about all other 15 goals, then this goal is something different, very, very different. You can't say that this is specific because it is a systematical and societal both. It covers the systematical error and it covers the societal error both. So, what is the thing there that things that have been you know are existing in the society in terms of traditional, yeah, we can say that traditionally we are trying to resolve all these issues technically, and the things, those error are being established as technically we are trying to resolve all those issues traditionally. So this is a big gap that we need to fill the first. And I must say that when you talk about inequality, it has it is very vast. It is very vast subject, very, very vast subject. So I don't know how much time I have, but I will try to complete all my points. That first, whenever I see inequality within the society in terms of development, so one, the major point that even I raised with the UN Secretary General, that is, when we think we need to achieve SDGs globally, we need to categorize it as the implementation and strategies to achieve SDGs in developing country and in developed country. Because this is a big reason that if we are working to achieve SDGs in USA, Europe, in all developed countries, where we don't need to think about some grassroots societal issues. Like I just give you example. If I'm working in US for achieving SDG 5, SDG 3, SDG 4, take it these three, like health and well-being, good health and well-being, education and gender equality. If I'm working in US, I don't need to think that when girl will born, I don't need to think about her healthcare, primary healthcare. I don't need to think about her education. Even though I don't need to think about that mothers are doing discrimination among the children, among the siblings. But in India, when you say that I need to work on these three SDGs, so the big question arises that let her come in this world first, because a struggle of a woman doesn't start from her birth, it starts before her birth. It starts when the family get to know that this is the girl. That's why in US, in developed country, the sonography is legal, but in India it is not. So it starts before her birth. When she come in this world, then she face another challenges. Will she get proper healthcare or not? Will she get the equal food within the family or not? Will she get the equal educational opportunities within the family or not? Because there is a same mother who's providing the almond, cashew, and the different kind of nutrition to the boy, but not to the girl. This is first inequality. We can say gender inequality, but it is being done by a woman, not by a man. Same when you give toys to your children. If boy is there, you will give bat, balls, games, and everything, electronic games and everything. And to girl, you will give stones, rope, and all. This is your sport. This is the second inequality. In terms of food, in terms of educational things, then again in curriculum activities, sports activities, everywhere the women are facing inequality in India, because when we are catering these SDGs in India, we have different issues. But in whenever you go to the developed nation, these are not the basic issues where you are talking about the rights of women, where you are talking about the political empowerment of the women, where you're talking about that how we can make women in a decision making. These are the issues there. But when you say about what is the basic inequality measures, those start from grassroots level, because only 2 or 3% of the population is privileged. We all know, basically in India, so we clearly says that more than 95 of our population is marginalized. They are farmers, they are laborers, they are all. So there are different kind of inequalities that they are facing. This is the one issue which I talked about women. Second, now I need to talk about the transgenders. Think when a person get to know that children is a transgender, what he or she face. Can you imagine? It is beyond the imagination. It is beyond the imagination. There are the cases where the parent gives poison to their children when they get to know that he or she is a transgender. They never get equality in food. They never get equality in education. They never get equality in terms of employment opportunities, learning opportunities. Nowhere. Not even after. There are some of transgender who anyhow they have become educated, anyhow they have become entrepreneurs, anyhow they are running some big companies, but still they are facing an issue of inequality because society has not accepted them. So first, when I say that inequality is a systematic error, before that we have to accept that it is a societal error. So till the time we will not sensitize the society about the making, to creating an inclusive society, we cannot achieve this goal. Third, I would like to cover person with disabilities. Huh? We all saw in COVID we face lots of issues. Have we ever thought about that the PWDs who are getting regular treatment, regular pain treatment, physiotherapies, were they able to go to the field, to their clinics and to the hospital in lockdown? No, they suffered a lot. At their home, they were crying in pain. They were not getting even physiotherapy. And whose responsibility was that? It was government's responsibility. But even government has not, looked upon that situation. This is a systematic error. This is systematic and societal error. Both the errors are here. Because when you were busy in terms of protecting your communities, protecting your general population, how can you forget the person with disabilities? How can? You know that these are the people who really need daily treatment, daily medicines. There were no hospital, there were no clinic open for them, there were no transportation for them. These are the inequalities. And inequality starts from upper side, not from lower side. I always say that problem starts from the downtrodden area, from grassroots level. But changes always starts from upper side, from the higher authorities. But inequality also starts from the upper side. The people who are residing in the marginalized section of the society, because I don't know the complete topic, but I am a grassroots level social worker. So I will talk about the grassroots realities, what I have faced, what I have witnessed in my life. At the age of 2, my parents left me alone with my 3 days infant sister. I started working as a child laborer in slum. I witnessed the lives of these young boys, how they have been forced into the drug abuse, in crimes. There are a number of my fellows who get to know that they are transgender and how they face that their parents are not providing them equal treatment in terms of if they get to know that they are transgender. It is a biological issue. The person has not chosen that I want to become a transgender. A person has not decided that I will become a I will remain in my life with the disability. These are the biological issues. When I'm talking about person with disabilities, when I'm talking about the people residing in the marginalized section of the society, how they are facing, have we ever understood that the people residing in a slum, how they are facing inequality? They are not even getting up drinking water. There are a number of tankers who provide drinking waters to them, and every of family member just made a queue for 5 to 6 hours just to take the water. And during the COVID lockdown, when everybody was just saving their life, they were struggling in a crowd for the water. Why an organized colony is getting the proper water facilities and the sanitation facilities, and why a slum is not getting the at least the water and sanitation facilities, the basic human right? Isn't called the inequality. It's a big inequality. So what I believe, first we need to sensitize the government people. First we need to sensitize the government officials. First we need to sensitize the policy makers. At least design your policies, design your welfare schemes, design your thoughts in a way where you are able to cater equality. Only when we can achieve UN SDG 10. This is my perspective.
Thank you so much, sir. So everyone, we have our speaker. We hope you are excited to learn something new. We have few questions for you, sir. So the first question is, what motivated you to start working for SDG
SDG
10?
You know what I believe, that SDG 10, everybody is fighting for SDG 10. Wherever you are fighting for your existence, it is directly related to SDG 10. So when I born in slum, my parents left me. I started selling balloons at the age of 8, and I have been brutally beaten by the gangs of delinquents. That time I faced number of miseries with me, number of, just to overcome from all those miseries, I tried to do volunteering. And when I started working in marginalized section of the society, I literally saw that there are number of problems just being, you know, raising because of inequality. If a family is residing in Greater Kailash, they are getting 24-hour electricity, they are getting 24-hour waters, they have parks, they have good infrastructure. Why all those facilities are not in slum? Are we not the citizen of India? Are we? The people says that that tax is only being paid by the income taxpayer, but we are the people. If we are buying a matchbox now, we are paying GST. So where from inequality starts, and where from I thought that I should work.
So one more question. Do you think present scheme and initiative to reduce inequalities are sufficient to achieve our target by 2030? And if not, what advice can you give to coming generation in fulfilling this target?
The thing is that if we are taking a target of 2030, we need to connect this all these SDGs with our traditional belief, with our cultural belief. Because I will give you some example. If people are, you know, creating any kind of mob to destroy the infrastructure, elements, and certain things, you can't control them with the power. You can only control them with the sentiments. People in a large populations are connected with the sentiments through their traditional beliefs. Like, I just give you example. A person is residing in a slum, if not even not having money for food, but if their festivals are coming, they are eager to celebrate. They will go to Vaishno Devi by walk, but they will celebrate their Navratra, Kanya Puja. So whenever we saw that, if we know that in India we have a larger population that belongs from marginalized section of the society, and we also know that they are more inclined toward their traditional belief, then why we don't try to connect them with the formulas that cater their traditional beliefs for achieving SDGs? I have created one. I have executed that successfully, where I organized India's biggest Kanya Pujan, where 5,000 people came gathered together and they adopt socially victimized girl for providing them education and healthcare. I connected that activity through Kanya Pujan, and that was related to SDG 3, SDG 4, SDG 5. 3,314 girls were socially adopted, and continuously I'm monitoring them. They are regularly being providing the educational material, health material. The people who have adopted them have become their social parents. Now, even though those girls were facing immense atrocities, violences, now the people who do these kind of activities in slums, they know that this girl is being adopted by a privileged family. Even though the real parents of the family can't decide that we need to do the child marriage of the girl, because they know that the girl is directly connected to a privileged family. They are providing her education, they are providing her well-being, healthcare, the basic things. So what I did, I just connected these three SDGs with one traditional activity, one traditional festival, or we can say the cultural festival. So there are number of issues. If we really would like to achieve SDGs by 2030, especially in India, we need to work in a manner where we can directly intervene in the minds of the people. We need to change the mindset of the society first. We need to develop a progressive mindset society, because whenever we are working in developed country for achieving SDGs, the work process, implementation, execution is completely different. Where you don't need to teach that, uh, don't throw out your garbage here. But in India, you have to sensitize this also. So there are certain things. I said in one event, like, if a UNICEF is organizing a function in New York, will they do lamp lightning? No, they do ribbon cutting. But in India, whenever they do event, they do lamp lightning. Why? Because they know that lamp lightning is directly connected to prosperity in India. So the strategies that you have developed, the policies that you have developed for achieving SDGs in developed nation, those are not effective for developing countries.
One of the last question. Um, how do you help to contribute toward reducing inequality? And can you also elaborate on your run for Latin half marathon?
Yeah. So what we did, Dikshita, in 2017, we joined head with Delhi Police, where we approached them that there are number of boys, you know, who do eve teasing, molestation with girls at the outside of colleges and schools, and it is a usual practice. You must be you face that. Every girl that who are student, they face these issues. One thing, it is very difficult to motivate girls to go to school. Another task is difficult, the more difficult to sensitize their parents to send your daughter to school. Then these boys are stalking them at the outside of the gate. If girl complained at her home that a boy was, doing my picha and all, and he was just, doing eve teasing with me, then, mother and father don't realize that it is not a problem of girl, it is a problem of a boy. They tell their daughter, you will not go to school. Then dropouts are there. So what we did, we took the help of Delhi police. We gathered all these boys, around 15,000 boys we gathered from 180 police stations with the help of Delhi police. We sensitized them about gender issues through Nukkad Natak, street plays, in association with Asmita Theatre called Dastak. It's a very good play. We sensitize them in terms of youth empowerment, their capacity building, their mental health, counseling, everything we did for 3 days. Then we made them their participation in marathon, where Union Home Minister, that time Shri Rajnath Singh ji was there. He inaugurated that event. The ambassadors of different countries were participated. The police commissioner of Delhi was the convener of the event. The chief justice of Delhi were also participated in event, and it was huge crowd where more 10,000 people came forward to support this issue. So that we took not just in an awareness event, we did constructive activities where we directly sensitized 15,000 boys for a week. Then we organized the marathon. Then people get to know that this level of a marathon is being organized at New Delhi at Jalen Stadium. Then automatically people came forward to support the idea. It can happen again, but we need to do something constructive first. We can't say that we will do the paperwork or the research work and things will happen. We can't achieve 2030 target on paper. We can achieve on paper, but if we really wish to achieve at ground, then we have to work in a constructive manner, and that is really, really hard, really hard.
Okay, sir. That is very great. So, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experience. It has been truly inspirational, and I'm sure it has opened the eyes of many out there. We hope you enjoyed the session as much as we did preparing for it. Let's strive to do our best to support this cause and take responsibility. To strengthen our actions, on this note, let's meet again soon. Thank you so much for joining. It was very lovely having all of you in this session. Thank you so much.